Hello, I'm Melissa. The story I'm about to tell you isn't just about one person's betrayal, but a mutual betrayal between a couple. In life, the lines between victims and culprits aren't always so clear. Sometimes everyone is a little guilty, and sometimes everyone is a little bit of a victim. Have you ever wondered, if both sides are cheating, who is more at fault? Kevin and I had been married for 6 years. From the outside, everything looked perfect. We had a beautiful home, well-paying jobs, a shared circle of friends, and happy couple photos we posted on social media. But behind closed doors, our marriage had already started to grow cold. Kevin worked in the finance sector and often went on business trips. I was a director at an architecture firm and usually came home late. The time we spent together had dwindled, and our conversations had turned into routine, everyday exchanges. Have you ever had such a phase in your relationship? When passion and intimacy fade in a relationship, do people start looking elsewhere? Or is that just an excuse? It all started for me at an office party. That's where I met James, our new project partner. Smart, attractive, and someone who shared my architectural vision. Our project meetings gradually turned into dinner dates, and then into secret rendezvous. I kept finding excuses to justify myself. Kevin doesn't make time for me anyway. Our marriage already feels over. I just want someone to understand me. People tend to justify their wrongdoings, don't they? Meanwhile, I started noticing some strange behavior from Kevin. He began locking his phone with passwords, checking work emails late at night, and dressing more stylishly than usual. When you notice changes in your partner's behavior, how honest can you really be with yourself? Can your own actions blind you to someone else's betrayal? Kevin's sister Rachel used to visit us often. She was studying at a university in the city and would sometimes spend the weekends with us. She was the first to notice that something was off. One Saturday morning, while Rachel was making coffee in the kitchen, I had slept in late. Truthfully, I'd stayed up messaging James. Kevin had already left early for his morning run. "Melissa, can we talk?" Rachel asked at the breakfast table. There was a seriousness in her voice that made me uneasy. "Do you think Kevin's been acting strange lately?" she asked directly. My heart started to race. Had she found out about me and James? I was getting ready to defend myself when she continued. "I saw him downtown last week with a woman. They were holding hands. At first I wasn't sure, but it was definitely Kevin." At that moment, I felt a strange mix of relief. My secret was still safe, and an unexpected wave of jealousy. So I was being cheated on too. Isn't it strange? Even when you're the one cheating, being cheated on still hurts. Have you ever found yourself caught in such conflicting emotions? How is it possible to be both the guilty one and the victim at the same time? After what Rachel told me, I started watching Kevin more closely. I tried to check his messages, but he always kept his phone with him. One time, while he was in the shower, I took the chance and went through it. There were hundreds of messages with someone named Amanda. My stomach turned as I read them. Kevin had been seeing this woman for 3 months, just like I had been seeing James. In fact, our affairs had started the same week. From the messages, I could tell that Kevin, like me, was complaining about the coldness in our marriage. Meanwhile, Rachel had grown even more suspicious and was watching both of us. One evening, when a message from James popped up on my screen, she looked at me with questioning eyes. "Melissa, you too." I started crying and confessed everything. Rachel listened in shock. "So, you're both cheating on each other, and neither of you knew? What a cruel irony, isn't it? Sometimes, even when people are going through the same pain, they still can't communicate. How open are you in your relationships? Rachel was in a really difficult position. Should she stay loyal to her brother, or had she done the right thing by telling me what she saw? Now, she knew both my secret and Kevin's. "What are you going to do?" she asked me. "Are you going to tell Kevin?" "And you?" I asked. "Are you going to tell him about me and James?" Rachel shook her head. "That's something you two need to work out between yourselves. But you both can't keep going like this. This game is hurting you both." She was right. But strangely, knowing that Kevin was also with someone else gave me a sense of relief. I felt less guilty now. What would you do in a situation like this? Does knowing the other person did the same thing make your own actions feel more justified? Things spiraled out of control one weekend. Kevin and I had made a reservation at a restaurant, something we rarely did together anymore. Maybe it was an unconscious attempt to save our marriage. Who knows? The moment we walked into the restaurant, I froze. James was there, with a blonde woman by his side. The look on Kevin's face was unforgettable. He didn't recognize James, but it was obvious he knew the woman. It was Amanda. So Kevin's lover was the wife of my lover. James was married, and his wife, Amanda, was the woman Kevin was seeing. What kind of coincidence was this? Or was it fate? When James saw me, his face went pale as a ghost. Kevin, on the other hand, stared at Amanda in complete shock. 4 people, 2 couples, 2 affairs, all converging in the same restaurant. Sometimes, life really is stranger than fiction, isn't it? What do you think it's like? That exact moment when you're forced to face your worst fears. That evening, Kevin and I talked for hours at home. For the first time in years, we had a conversation that was truly open and honest. We both cried. We yelled. We apologized. "Why?" Kevin asked. "Why, James?" "And you?" I said. "Why, Amanda?" Our answers were almost identical. Loneliness, the need to be understood, the desire to feel seen and cared for. Everything we were missing in our marriage, we had gone searching for in other people. Rachel was right. What we were looking for outside, we could have found in each other. If only we had communicated. If only we had tried. Do you think the root of most relationship problems is a lack of communication? Why do we sometimes look for solutions outside when they could be reached through an honest conversation? Kevin and I had a different ending than most couples. We didn't get divorced right away, nor did we reconcile immediately. Instead, we both started therapy, individually and as a couple. The most interesting part was Rachel's role in all of this. If she hadn't had the courage to be honest with both of us, we might have kept living that double life for years. Sometimes, it takes an outsider to see what those inside cannot. After 6 months of therapy, we decided to rebuild our marriage. It wasn't easy. Trust doesn't come back overnight. Every message, every late arrival, every work meeting was met with suspicion at first. Would you choose to save your relationship in a situation like this? Or do you believe that some wounds never fully heal? 2 years have passed since all of this happened. Kevin and I are still married. Our relationship is different now. Maybe more honest, maybe more realistic. It's not perfect, but it's real. James and Amanda got divorced. Sometimes I wonder, if we hadn't run into each other at that restaurant, would we still be living that double life? Rachel is still a significant part of our lives. I'll always be grateful to her. Sometimes, the hardest truths come from the people we love the most. The most important lesson I've learned is this: when you're struggling in a relationship, looking for answers outside instead of within can cost you more than you think. And sometimes, the truths that hurt the most are the ones that heal us the most. What about you? Have you ever found yourself feeling both guilty and betrayed in a relationship? Do you think forgiving is harder or starting over? Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, everyone has a story, and no story is ever as simple as it seems.